All right, guys, today I want to talk about Governor Healey and this MBTA zoning disaster, because what is happening is absolute hypocrisy. It's absolute hypocrisy, and I'm going to get into that in a few seconds here. Let me just explain on a surface level what's going on so you understand, catch up to speed. Right now, there are multiple towns that are being forced to change their zoning laws to allow for more housing, more apartments, essentially near transit stations. Now, this may be the one and only time that I somewhat agree with Governor Healey, and that's just based on the fact that we need more housing. We need more housing. We're in a housing crisis. I'm in the business. I know how these things go. And putting them closer to transit stations could help. It's really, I know a lot of people that may live in these towns don't agree with this, but it's potentially a necessary evil that may need to happen. All right. But here's the deal. The state isn't providing any money for them to do this. And if they refuse, Healey threatened to eliminate state grants for God knows what, maybe schools, public safety, and something. One of the towns even needs some river dredging. Now, before I go any further, does what she's trying to do sound remotely familiar to you? Because here's the thing. When Trump threatened to pull funds from sanctuary cities, the Democrats and the progressives, they lost their mind. These people lost their mind. These are the same people who screamed bloody murder when Trump threatened to pull these funds are now completely silent while Healey is using the exact same strategy. This is what's irking me here. This is what's irking me. And I did not see anybody talking about this. So are you following me here on this? So somehow, some way, when a Democrat uses Trump's playbook, it's a win. Talk about a double standard, right? It's ridiculous to me. It's really ridiculous. Anyway, let's call it a refresher. Let me give you a quick refresher on this. So this mandate, it was passed in 2021, and it required, I believe, 177 towns near MBTA train stations to set aside a certain amount of acreage for high-density apartments. And the goal is obvious, to create more housing, which, of course, I agree with. We need more housing. But the problem is, this was an unfunded mandate. So that means the state is forcing towns to change their zoning laws, but isn't necessarily paying for the extra cost involved. And of course, a lot of these towns are upset with that. And I would think that those costs, any cost when it comes to like infrastructure of building, you figure roads, sewer lines, water systems, whatever it may be, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But simultaneously, it's not a lot of money to shell out $1 billion towards housing illegal immigrants. You see what I'm saying here? Do you see this? This is the problem. And you are literally watching it unfold live. I've been saying this for months. I'm fine with helping people, but not at the expense of hurting others. Why do you think they don't want the audit? Why? It's obvious. It's obvious. They don't want you to see where their monies are going. Period. That's it. That's what it is. And the thing is, if these towns refuse to comply, she's going to be pulling money from those towns for, again, completely unrelated things. So I guess this is how the state does business now. It's like a do as I say, don't do as I do thing. So when the Democrats do something, it's okay. When the Republicans or more conservative people want to do something, they throw their hands up in the air. It's ridiculous to me. And here's the other thing. Do you remember when Trump said at the time when he was withholding federal funds from sanctuary cities, and, if these cities refuse to follow immigration laws and policies, the progressives called him a dictator. They said you can't hold money hostage. They said you can't hold money hostage. But now Healey is doing the exact same thing to the towns that don't follow her zoning laws. And yet suddenly, it's a necessary step for the town's compliance. So where's the outrage now? Where's the Boston Globe's media meltdown? You won't hear a peep from these people. You won't hear a peep from these people. And it's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. When people were out there, they cried foul when Trump did this. This time, it's their team doing the punishing, so it's okay. It's okay when their team does that punishing, but not on the opposite side. I don't know, guys. So I don't know where the state's heading. I really don't know. But anyway, other thing I want to talk about, and maybe the biggest slap in the face, is, of course, the money, right? So Massachusetts spends upwards of $75 million plus a month on emergency shelters. And over the past year alone, it's been over $1 billion. It's over $1 billion. And they're spending money on people that just got here. And it just keeps on going and going and going. They're looking for money wherever the hell they could find it. But when Middleborough needs money to upgrade its water systems for new housing that she's demanding to build, there's no funds. When Marshfield needs money to dredge a river to keep their marina safe, there's no funds. So let me get this straight. There's no funds for the towns that you represent, but there's millions of dollars available for people who just got here? Come on. It's unbelievable. It really and truly is. It's astonishing to me. Like, it's really, really astonishing. And the fact is, Massachusetts could foot the bill for illegal immigrants in hotels, but can't help small towns pay for zoning compliance. This state needs to wake up. It needs to wake up. That's it. Okay? And I'll tell you what. Let's play a little game here, because I did quite a bit of research on this. Let's say that Governor Healey, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. All right. You might be sitting there thinking to yourself, maybe this is just how it works. Maybe other states are doing the same thing. And that's just not the case, guys. It's just not the case. You're not completely right. You're also not completely wrong. Other places like Chicago, Seattle, Portland, and I was reading even California, what they do is they encourage transit-oriented housing, but they do it a little bit differently. They use something like tax incentives or tax breaks, and they supply grants to accomplish this. They don't just hold the towns hostage like Healey is doing. And if Healey actually cared about solving the housing crisis, she should just fund the infrastructures these towns need or provide some levels of support. She's sitting on a $62 billion budget. And what's happening now, since she's basically trying to force these towns to do it, there's all these towns that are trying to sue the state. They're suing the state. And they're obviously arguing that Healey's actions are unconstitutional. I was watching a video. The state auditor, Diana DeZoglio, she saw this too. And she said the same thing. It was an unfunded mandate. That means that they were trying to pass something without the funds to support it, at least on a surface level, as simple as possible. And honestly, the courts could potentially agree with these towns here. So it should be interesting to see what happens. But again, it's all at the expense of the same people who are outraged when Trump did the same thing. And now they're staying completely silent. It's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I truly don't know. The state is unbelievable, and it really and truly, really needs to wake up. That's it for today's video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.